I think I have a little bit different attitude on North Korea than other people might have. And I listen to everybody, but ultimately, my attitude is the one that matters, isn't it? That's the way it works. That's the way the system is. But I think I might have a somewhat different attitude and a different way than other people. I think perhaps I feel stronger and tougher on that subject than other people, but I listen to everybody.
Joining us now, member of both the Foreign Relations and Judiciary Committees, Democratic Senator Chris Coons. We are all very concerned.
Why don't we talk about, the President talked about his feelings. Why don't you talk about your feelings on North Korea and the fact that we have a president that the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee says may be leading us to World War III?
Well, this is a very concerning time. One of the things that I have said consistently since President Trump became president was he needs to put the phone down. He needs to stop conducting foreign policy and national security by tweet. It's not a well-honed tool for complex international negotiations. And I deeply respect Chairman Bob Corker. He has led the Foreign Relations Committee in a responsible and constructive way. And I know many of my colleagues, both Democrat and Republican, share concerns that this is a moment when we need to be letting our diplomats focus on marshaling the world to confront North Korea, engaging China successfully, and these sort of casual throwaway lines by the president, which strike me as more reality TV star than world leader, are destabilizing at a time when we need his focused leadership.
Senator Coons, it's Catty Kay here, and we hear a lot about the idea that we are sleepwalking towards some kind of confrontation, that the war talk is being ratcheted up. But what are you seeing specifically to make you think that this is more than just talk or Twitter or rhetoric? Is there anything that you see on the military side with North Korea that is happening now that would make you particularly concerned that we are actually getting closer to some kind of military conflict? Anything concrete?
Well, Catty, that's what makes it possible for me to sleep at night, is that I don't see us taking military steps to prepare for a major confrontation with North Korea. We have not pulled out the tens of thousands of American dependents of the U.S. troops that are on the peninsula. We haven't pre-positioned large stores of munitions and fuel and mobilized significant numbers of jet fighters and bombers and ships, which our military would if we were beginning serious planning stages for an imminent confrontation. So most of what I see so far is that there's a fair amount of bluster and threatening and war talk between the leaders of North Korea and the United States. What concerns me about that is it does increase the odds that there will be a miscalculation, a misunderstanding. We don't have robust communication channels with North Korea the way we have had with other adversaries in the past. We had much better communication channels between our military and the Soviet military, for example, at the height of the Cold War. So if there is an incident where a spy plane or a spy ship is shot down or intercepted, as has happened before, with North Korea, with China, I think the risk of a misunderstanding and a rapid escalation is getting greater with the bellicose rhetoric that we're hearing out of the leaders of both countries.
Mark Halperin.
Senator, what's the role of Congress in dealing with the North Korea situation beyond talking about it?
Well, it's a great question. We have been pressing for, more recently demanding a strategy out of the administration. There's a number of, I think, destabilizing steps that the administration is taking. I'm very concerned about the president moving to decertify that the Iran nuclear deal is in the best interest of the United States. And in both cases, confrontation with North Korea and path forward on Iran, we need to be demanding a strategy that we can get behind. I have said privately to senior leaders of this administration that they would find bipartisan support for a clearly articulated strategy to contain Iran's destabilizing regional behavior and to press forward on really putting the screws to China to be a better partner in containing North Korea. The administration was making great progress at the Security Council and in getting dozens of our allies to expel North Korean diplomats and to shut down North Korea's opportunities for earning income through foreign workers and through exports. We need to focus on that, and the president is distracted distracting our top diplomats and Congress from focusing on that strategy.
Senator Coons, it's Willie Geist. Good to see you. I want to ask you on a different topic about the president's tweet about the news media, specifically NBC News yesterday. He talked about perhaps revoking the licenses of media outlets with which he disagrees, or the ones that he thinks are confrontational and hostile toward him, in his opinion. Obviously, that's not something that can be done readily by a president, thanks to the Constitution. Right. How do you read that statement? Do you view that as a threat to the First Amendment, or do you view that as the president just popping off on Twitter?
Well, it's both. The president is popping off on Twitter in a way that is normalizing unconstitutional statements. First, just to be clear, as you said, the president can't pull a license for NBC. The Federal Communications Commission, which is an independent agency, licenses individual stations, not whole networks. And so there's no risk that the president is about to pull the license of networks with which he disagrees. But the idea that the president would repeatedly engage in public statements that are just obviously undermining the First Amendment is an alarming development. And I agree with Senator Ben Sasse that we all have to stand up in common, those of us who are elected, those of us who are in the media, those of us who care about our constitutional values and civil society, and push back on this. This is not normal behavior, and it's not acceptable.
All right, Senator Chris Coons, thank you very much. And